Please welcome the man that you wish you had stayed home for tonight. Please welcome the man that has really eaten into your evening. Please welcome the man that the food ran out hours ago. Please welcome to the stage one of my best friends and somebody that has inspired me since the day he has started doing stand-up comedy. Somebody I look up to with all of my heart. Please put your hands together for Brett James, everybody.
Being black and white, my dad's black, my mom's white, I have this bit about the names that black and white people get called. And we get called a lot of silly things. We get called things like mixed and mutts and panda bears and zebras and mulattoes. And I say mulatto sounds like a drink you buy from Starbucks coffee. And then the name I hate the most that we get called is Oreo. And I say, listen, I don't call Caucasians animal crackers. And I don't call African Americans Girl Scout chocolate Thin Mints, and I don't call Mexicans churros, and so I want a name for my people, so people don't call us Oreos. And I came up with Halfrican American, and I've been the Halfrican American out here in Oklahoma City ever since I did that bit. Everyone just started calling me the Halfrican American, so it just stuck.
The first time I met Brett, we were doing a showcase out at Twisted Root Art Gallery. And I'd heard of him. I heard people talking about him, and he was on this show, and I'd never met him or whatever. So I get up, I do my time or whatever, and then he goes up later after me or whatever, and just crushes it. Like, he's confident, he's charismatic, and I'm like, I kind of hate him. I kind of like, because he's got this confidence that I never had when I first started out. So I'm super jealous of him. And so like afterwards, I was like, yo man, that was really good. Like, how long have you been doing this? I was thinking, I think maybe he'd done it in Florida for a few years, and then because of the Air Force, he had to come to Oklahoma City or whatever. So I'm like, yo, how long have you been doing this? He's like, yo, like 6 months. And I kind of hated him a little more, but he was so nice and so cool. You can't hate him. You can't hate him.
I'm a fan. I like Brett. Brett has been amazing for Oklahoma City. He has gone further, faster, I think, than probably anybody I've known, and I've been around for about 10 years, so he's been very impressive. And the longer he's done it, the better he's gotten at writing. He was always amazing on stage. Like, he always had a presence on stage, and it took a little while, I think, maybe for his material to catch up, but boy, when it started catching up, I mean, he's hard to beat.
Brett's comedy's great. Brett writes a lot. He works really hard. He writes what he knows, which I think is really important, and he really kind of focuses on looking at everything through his prism and his perspective, whether it be family, race, and now moving into being a father. So he writes very grounded comedy that I think is really unique to him, in the city, especially with his perspective.
His jokes are mostly all about our life. It's a lot about him personally, being black and white, his military family, our life, having babies, getting pregnant. His whole life is all of what he offers in his comedy career, which is really cool.
I cannot be more excited. I do a lot of shows, and this is like the most important show, well, the most special. Let's just say this is a very special show for me tonight. I'm retiring from the Air Force, and I'm gonna pursue the dream of becoming a professional stand-up comedian. So this is kind of the transition to that. I'm gonna have some friends, some family here tonight, and I'm gonna probably get a little emotional. I'm gonna probably sip a little Crown Royal. And we're just gonna have a great time. We're gonna have a great show. I'm gonna get retired. I got my unit coming out tonight to support me. I got friends, family, and everything. I wanna thank the Looney Bin Comedy Club, Oklahoma City, for letting me come in here and do this. And it's where I got my start on that very stage tonight, and that's where I'm gonna get retired from the Air Force. So I think that's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to hearing it tonight, actually, for the first time. I haven't been able to experience it. I know he did a couple ones on bass, but I know he's been spending a good amount of his free time over the past few years kind of perfecting it, and he's won a few competitions, and I'm just excited for him that he's going to be taking that forward with his next career here.
What I have here is, being that I'm ghetto and cheap, this is my own picture frame. And right here, it just pretty much says congrats on his retirement, and for him to remember that, you know, he's got time to fart around and so on and so on. But the most important thing is to make sure that all the shit goes inside the toilet, and there we are. That's him and I, we are the shit. So basically, that's just me telling everyone that we are the shit, plain and simple.
You know what, this is actually a unique situation for me since I don't live here in Oklahoma and he got started here. I'd never seen him do stand-up. However, I've obviously seen the clips, the YouTube, you know, stuff, things he posts on social media. He runs up some of his comedy by me, some of his stuff, so I have heard it and seen it, just not really in person, so I'm really excited to hear him tonight. But how I feel about it, I mean, the guy's a natural. He's been making me laugh for 16 years, and now it's great that he gets to do it, you know, in his afterlife in the Air Force, so I'm really happy for him.
Chris Lockridge was late. I asked for leave, vacation, because there was a party, and he said, no, we have an inspection. I said, well, I'm on party still. And he came and knocked on my dorm room door that next morning. I was late. He said, get your ass up, come to work. I showed up for work, and I was falling asleep at my desk. He said, let's go to the chow hall. And he made me drink 1 pot of coffee. And I came back to work, and I thought I was gonna die. And I was just freaking out. I was like just processing documents, so I was just crazy. I was like, mad dad. And then I said, hey guys, can I take a break? And he said, shut the hell up and work. I was like, oh my God. Chris is this huge 6'5" black dude. He's crazy. From North Florida. He used to be our arm wrestling Gator champion. So I was like, oh my God, I think I'm about to faint. Have you all just had anybody look at you and just be like, well then faint? Have you ever just had somebody say, just faint then? That's not I'm like, do I lay down? How do I faint? Like, I don't even know. Because I think I'll bust my head. I just do, you know? So things just start getting real small. And I had to grab my wastebasket and I just began to throw up everything in me. And throw up, throw up, throw up, throw up. And I remember I looked up and I wiped my mouth. And I said, Sergeant Lockridge, I learned my lesson. Can I go home? He said, it's only 10 o'clock, bitch.
Yesterday, getting ready for the show last night, oh man, it was crazy. I went and got a haircut, and then I had to go pick up some things for the show. I had to get with the caterers and get them paid and make sure they were gonna be there on time. And then I had to go, my best friend flew into town, so I had to go get him situated at his hotel. And then I had to come here and spend as much time with my new 2-month-old twin boys as possible, because the nanny was gonna have her hands full because my wife came to the show last night. And then I had to shower, and I had to get back to the club, and then everybody was showing up and just welcoming everybody and thanking everybody for coming, and it just, you know, I couldn't even believe I had a voice left to even go on stage last night, and much less this morning. I mean, I think it's kind of in my voice, but my voice is pretty much gone almost. It's going. It's going. I'm just happy to have some coffee right now. I've been up since 7:30 with my boys. They did not care that Daddy was out last night doing comedy to a club full of people and then hanging out late at night talking about the whole thing. So, whew.
I mean, there's going to be a nice big Brett James-sized hole in comedy in Oklahoma City, and not positive how we're going to fill it.
What would I write on this tombstone? Halfrican American, I got you. Simple as that.
On Brett's tombstone, here lies Brett. I'm definitely Puerto Rican.
Very loud. I am very loud.
I would write on Brett James' tombstone, well, that was pointless.
I basically put on this tombstone that he lived life to the fullest. The guy just lives life and makes you smile. So Tombstone and Reed loves life, lived life.
I would put on his tombstone a guy of many words and a guy with many laughters. I think that's probably what I would put. I don't know. I'd have to probably think about it, but I think that would probably be what I would put on it.
I like to give him a lot of shit about the line, but you would have to say something about being Halfrican American, just because. I don't know. I think just watching this last transition in his life as he retires from the military and moves on, as he becomes a father, I think it might say something like father first, husband second, and I'm just giving him that. I'm not sure that that's true. And then everything else in his life is comedy. His passion for this business, his passion for comedy is rare, and that's how I think it goes. Father first, husband second, comedian with every other ounce of his being.
I just like people to know that I take great pride in being unique and being me up there, and I'm very appreciative of I think that you have to get off your couch to come see me. You have to get off your couch to come spend time watching local comedy, live comedy at that, and I just want everyone to know how much I appreciate you getting off your couch and putting on makeup, putting on clothes, and getting a babysitter, and doing all that, and rushing home from work and getting everything situated to go back out to leave your house. I know how hard that is to leave your house. So for anybody that's ever done that for me, I'm very grateful, I'm very humble, and I will continue this dream, and I really just want to say thank you.
I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. There's this thing called Top Dollar. It was an Air Force combat comptroller exercise. Yeah, we're combat finance guys, okay, for the civilians here. And we got sent to Camp Guernsey, Wyoming. Rod is an African American, and he is tall. You'll see when he comes on stage. But me and Rod was the blackest thing in Wyoming for this weekend. We tried to go eat at this restaurant, and they turned the jukebox off and said, "Not today, boys." It's a true story. That's a true story. So we starved. But so, hey man, this is 20 years ago. Don't heckle me yet, okay? The heckling is for later, damn it. But we went to this exercise, and I was a paying agent, which meant I carried the money around, and they had a makeshift village, and we used to visit the vendors, and we would pay, and Rod is contracting, so he'd do the contract for the goods, and I would pay for the goods, right? So I had all this money. Well, they had a van running around, and they were acting like they were terrorists, and they were kidnapping. We were out there with like 15 other teams from other bases, and Rod and I were from Patrick. And they would run around with a van, and they would kidnap you with the money and the contracting agent because he had the paperwork. So they would kidnap you, right? Well, this is the thing. I told y'all, me and Rob were the only black. We was Team Negro. And hey, listen, this van, we'd see the van, and they would hop out. And they'd be like, "Hey, y'all!" And me and Rob would be like, "Not today, not today!" And they tried a whole bunch to kidnap me and Rod. They could not catch us. So then they said, all of a sudden they said, "New rule, no running." That was the Negro rule. They had a Negro Negro rule. So then they said no running. So there was this wide open field. We had to cross the field to get back to our camp. And we saw the van. So me and Ron looked at each other and said, not today. And we was like, they ain't never seen nobody walk that fast. It's like, we got these Negroes, man. So the chief master sergeant who was in charge of the exercise, we were in our tent. And this dude just bust the door open and said, Edwards, Robinson, get in the van. He just came to our tent to kidnap us. We couldn't. So it's like one of my favorite memories because everybody was getting kidnapped and they could not get me in rides.